Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending my session on obfuscating sensitive information from Spark UI and logs. My name is Yan Liu, and I am a software engineer at Workday working on the Prism Analytics product. So for today's agenda, here are the following items I'll be covering. First, I'll give a quick overview of what we're doing at Workday and the problem that we are facing. Afterwards, I'll cover the things that we did to obfuscate the string representation of column names. Thirdly, I'll be covering to implement the things that we did to obfuscate the logging from third-party libraries. And finally, I'll be doing a short recap. So for some background context, Workday's Prism Analytics product uses Spark for data processing on customer data for finance and HR use cases. Naturally, the data that we are processing involves some sensitive data, and we need to be careful to ensure that our customers' data is protected. In the last few years, with laws such as GDPR being passed, more effort has been made on our side to ensure that no data leakage has come out. Spark UI and logs are useful for debugging purposes, but for us at Workday, we can't show it as it is. And this is because of the schema information leakage that shows up on the UI and in the logs. In the next slide, I'll be discussing the solution that we have to address this issue. There are two goals that we have to address the issue regarding schema information leaking out from the logs. Firstly, we'd like to obfuscate the column names on the Spark UI and in logs. One additional benefit of doing so is that engineers will be able to share anonymized Spark plans while debugging production issues. Additionally, we'd like to add a custom log4j appender to control which third-party library log messages aren't obfuscated. At the moment, when we use third-party libraries, we're at the mercy of the third-party libraries logging in terms of whether sensitive information is leaked out there or not. For obfuscating column names in the Spark UI and the logs, we have done the following. First, the implementation is done by adding an obfuscated string method in classes such as TreeNode Scala to hash the column names. TreeNode.Scala is a base class, so many other classes inherit TreeNode Scala, and therefore we don't need to change too many classes for the obfuscated string method. Along the way, we're able to obfuscate other fields such as alias names, expressions, and string constants. Finally, we added a config to be able to switch on and off between having the obfuscated string show or the unobfuscated string show. One reason that we've done this is because while using the obfuscated string method, we noticed that it's hard to decipher the Spark plans while debugging because the column names are hashed. For obfuscating the logging from third-party libraries, we have done the following. We use a custom log4j appender by adding an obfuscating appender class and a configuration file for whitelisting log lines from external third-party jars. For this, we use a list of rules based on the class name, package name, and log message regexes to decide whether to obfuscate third-party libraries or not. It depends on the third-party libraries you're using in your case, but we've noticed that some third-party libraries require obfuscation while others do not. Here are some photo snippets of the results that we've had on the UI and in the logs as a result of obfuscating column names and obfuscating third-party libraries, log lines. First here is a short snippet of the Spark UI. And in the local table scan string here, we notice that the column names are obfuscated. The second snippet comes from the Spark plan. And here we see that in the Spark plan, the column names here are also obfuscated. Whether in the UI or in the logs, the Spark plan string representation will remain obfuscated. And this will remain true even when exceptions are thrown from analysis and when the Spark plans are printed during the exception throwing. Last but not least, this image shows that the third-party library's logging is obfuscated. To summarize the changes that we've made at Workday, here is the following. By obfuscating column names along with adding custom log4j appender has helped us to protect customers' data from leaking in the Spark logs and on the UI. By doing so, this alleviates some privacy concerns when sharing Spark plans with other engineers, which can occur when we're debugging production use cases. Thank you for attending my talk.